Burn Boss. And now Water to Wine and Kelsey, they want to go. They split runners to the inside of Not a Dance, and we have 4 astern into the turn. After that, He's Connected, and He's Connected is attached to West Bay. They're only 5 lengths from the lead, and they're all clumped together with a quarter of a mile to go. They approach the top of the stretch, and Burn Boss has fended challenges to this point and still leads it by 1. To the inside is West Bay, and to the outside, Water to Wine, and on the wide side is Falconite. That's the gray, and those 4 line up into the final furlong. Behind them, He's Connected, the one back in last, Not a Dance, and up goes West Bay, and West Bay at 18 to 1 kicks clear beautifully. It's West Bay and Erica Murray to trigger an upset in the first. 3-1-7. And they're racing all off in elite fashion, and getting the early edge is the Irish Intense Company. Intense Company and Jermaine Bridgemahan at 2.5 to 1 down to the inside, doing it stylishly, and now joined and passed by Gypsy Wife. And Gypsy Wife wants to go, pulling the leading man out of the saddle and opening up by 2.5. After that, Intense Company secures the inside. Then we come back to Fall Moon. The Tampa Steam's beginning to advance. Tom's Girl is looking to win 2 in a row in her turf debut, and Tom's Girl is about 7 lengths from the lead, and it's a lonely leader in the shape of Gypsy Wife. That lead is now 5. Hurricane Hunter, the field's lone Minnesotan, is about 8 from it, striding up to the outside of Tom's Girl, and Latin Nikita's 10 lengths rearmost, and now they have 3.5 to go, and they're chasing Harry, and Harry, along with Gypsy Wife, slow down a tad. The lead is 2. In second, Intense Company, still in intense fashion. After that, Fall Moon shoved on, likewise for Hurricane Hunter. Then we come to Tom's Girl, spinning the wheels a bit in the turf debut, and Latin Nikita's last, and up top, Gypsy Wife is first, and Gypsy Wife at 3 to 2 leads it, and Intense Company continues to bug to the outside, and they're locked in battle as they head for home. Latin Nikita's running on very quickly from 5 out of it. Gypsy Wife holding Intense Company at bay. Latin Nikita angles to the inside, but Gypsy Wife is too much for them, and Gypsy Wife prevails. And they're racing. The quintet was off as 1. Fury Cap, the hot favorite, looks to cap race number 3 with a wire-to-wire victory, and Fury Cap runs away by 2. Ghost Stalker is stalking indeed, now 4 lengths behind the tearaway leader and favored Fury Cap. After that, Last Martini, the Minnesotan, is 3rd, racing in path 3, and to the outside of Joker Matt, the white horse in last, is Make Noise. 9 from front to back as they head up the Canterbury Park barn side, and Fury Cap now leads it by 5 with 5 to go. Ghost Stalker, number 1, is currently 2nd, about a length and a half clear from Last Martini. That one's put under a ride by Carlo Lopez and is going the wrong way. After that, Joker Matt beginning to advance. Meanwhile, Fury Cap still by 5, and Kelsey takes Make Noise to the outside. That's the white horse 8 lengths behind. Fury Cap, and the People's Choice is out for a Wednesday night stroll at this stage. The lead still is 5, and Roman ships all in on Ghost Stalker. After that, Joker Mac sneaking through on the inside, but Matt still has a lot of work to do with Last Martini, and still nothing from Make Noise, who's quite silent. And up top, Fury Cap still has a clear lead. It is Fury Cap and Daylor Barrios Lopez by 3. Ghost Stalker giving absolutely everything. Then it's Make Noise to the outside, but Fury Cap has built his house on rock, and he's solid by 1. 3-1-4.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as the lovely Lucia Winehandle leads us in the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. With the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good afternoon and welcome to beautiful Canterbury Park here in Shakopee, Minnesota, where the main track is listed as fast and the turf, there are a bevy of scratches on this card tonight. Open up your programs. We'll go through them one by one, starting in race 1. In race 1, take out number 1, Loring Park. Loring Park out of the first, and with that scratch, no superfecta wagering in race 1. Moving on to race number 2, second half of the double. Scratch the morning line favorite, number 2, Balbo Girl. Race 2, scratch 2, and with that scratch, no superfecta wagering, also in race 2. Onward to the third race, which starts that 50-cent pick 5 with that industry low 10% takeout. Takeout number 3, Lolo's Laughter, and number 4, Palace Attained. Race 3, takeout 3 and 4, no show, no trifecta, no superfecta in the third. On to the fourth, just a jockey change in race 4. In race 4, number 3, The Ghost, will now be ridden by Israel Hernandez. Race 4, number 3, The Ghost, now ridden by Israel Hernandez. Moving on to race number 5. In the 5th, a couple of scratches. Number 1, Some Tequila, and number 3, Johnny Up. Race 5, take out 1 and 3. With those scratches, no show, no trifecta, no superfecta. In race 6, which starts the late daily double, take out number 1, Angel of Attack. Race 6, take out 1. And on to the lucky last. Race number 7, a pair of scratches. Remove number 1, Dylan Rocks, and number 7, Casanova. Race 7, take out 1 and 7. Up next, Jeff Madej, Angela Herman with all the excitement around Canterbury Park as we build towards a giant night of racing next Wednesday. Stay tuned.
Well, welcome to Canterbury Park. Thanks, Kevin Gorg, for all those changes. And you're right, we've got a nice 7-race package tonight. A little turf, a little dirt, a lot of action, and a lot of great bets. I'm Jeff Madej. I'm joined by Angela Herman. This is a preview of what's to come and a look ahead to Wednesday as well. But tonight, with these low takeout wagers, Angela, with that 10% post-time pick 4 that starts here in about 38 minutes, and the late pick 5 with a 10% takeout, lower takeout, more money back into the winner's pockets.
It's very important and something that really could be employed across the board in a lot of different wagers at different tracks, but we have taken matters into our own hands. We can only control what we can control. 10% takeout on those ones that you mentioned before, and additional betting options coming our way on Wednesday, along with additional turf racing. And thus far throughout the year, I guess when you look at how you're going to structure tickets in that post-time pick 4 and in the pick 5, I mean, do you try to focus more on the overlap between the two? Do you just focus on one sequence or the other? I'm curious about your approach with it, because as we do have so much to get ready for on Wednesday, I want to know what approach you're going to take.
Well, of course, now when we mentioned Wednesday, that's the Northern Stars Turf Festival, possibly the biggest night of racing at Canterbury Park, and we've got all sorts of wagering options. You're right. So you've got to kind of direct your dollars towards what you think might be an overlay. And you can see on the screen here the lineup of those 5 turf races plus the MTA Stallion auction on the dirt. I like the addition of the all-turf pick 5. I think that's a fantastic wager. It involves all 5 of these turf stakes.
Right.
I think I see a couple of singles, and I see a couple of places to spread. But I think if you can beat the favorites in 1 or 2 of the legs, you're going to get paid. Because I can't remember what the pool was last year in just the regular pick 5, but it was big. We're going to have the national eyes on our racing on Wednesday night. I think the pools could be huge, and I think the payoffs will be bountiful.
Well, and I agree, and I think that at least my focus for handicapping the card started with the Canterbury Derby, because it is a part of so many of those wagers, and it's one of the more wide open fields, and you have younger horses dealing with that turf course and dealing with some different things that they might not have dealt with before, rather than the veterans that can take their show on the road, don't need any kind of turf course scenario, what have you. But whatever your approach to it is, you have a lot of races to pick from on our grass course. You don't see a whole bunch of rain in the forecast, and that's a big deal. There's not always turf racing where everybody wants it at this time of year. So, everything is converged for this. Jonathan Thomas is bringing in a mitt full of horses, very nicely bred horses, a stable we wouldn't normally see here, but you're going to hear that name a lot because a lot of his runners look very live on Wednesday.
Absolutely. He's got a number of horses that'll be well supported. And we've got Mike Maker in town, too. Jareth Loveberry, a former leading rider at Canterbury in 2017. Second place finisher in the Kentucky Derby aboard 2 Phils, who, by the way, won a stake race here at Canterbury Park last year. He's in town. He'll ride those Maker horses. Yep. Plus, he's got She Can't Sing. I know a horse that you fancy in the Lady Canterbury in its 31st running. So there's just so many things. But you're right about that Derby being part of a crucial wagering sequence, because it's part of the $1 pick 3, the all-turf pick 3.
Correct.
It's part of the late pick 5, and it's part of the all-turf pick 5. So
right.
If you're going to cash those 3 wagers, you're going to have to find the winner of that Derby. And it is interesting. Local hopeful won in Vermilion, who ran in the Santa Anita Derby and ran, I think, the fastest 6 furlongs that we've seen so far this meet in victory at Canterbury, has never run on the turf. So worked on the turf the other day,
yeah.
But that's a question mark, because I think that horse probably is the favorite in that race. Worthington also will take some money, but
Yeah.
One in Vermilion, just based on speed figures, could be the favorite in that race.
Well, he drew the rail, so that'll be an interesting one for, I guess, you to look at. And you've been up close with One in Vermilion, and you did get a chance to watch him work out. I know that people can catch that on Twitter, but for anybody who didn't hear your thoughts on One in Vermilion and how he took to the turf, what did you think?
Well, I did watch him, and I think you can see that on the workout on Twitter a little bit too. But he traveled over the grass well. Harry Hernandez never really asked for him; just wanted to get a feel, give him that experience. He galloped out really well. Harry was impressed. The trainer was impressed. The horse is ready to rock and roll, I think. So all that action happens on Wednesday, the Northern Stars Turf Festival. Of course, tomorrow, Father's Day. Bring your dad out to the track. There'll be a lot of them here, and it's going to be another great day of racing with a lot of food trucks, a lot of things happening. And as always, the low 10% takeout bets. Any final thoughts before we throw it down to the other part of the Steam team?
No, I think that's a good lead into today, and the Steam team can take it from here. The rest of them, that is.
And the Saturday in the park, known as Canterbury Park, is underway. And we welcome those of you here in Shakopee, those of you taking in our signal nationwide. Welcome to Racing at Canterbury. We have 7 for you beginning about 30 minutes from now. And with that song by Chicago, it's kind of music immortality. A lot of people know it no matter their ages, Saturday in the Park. 4th of July is referenced, and holy cow, that thing's right around the corner, which means the 3rd of July, the fireworks extravaganza provided by Quick Trip, well, that's going to be a second to none memory. I know that that with you, there's a little negativity with July 3rd in that Zima no longer is a product, but nevertheless, you still get around there with your water or your Diet Coke or your Diet Pepsi.
Yes.
And the fireworks on July 3rd, man, get your tickets now for that, and good afternoon.
Good afternoon, PA. It's my family's favorite day of the year. The Sampson family's been nice enough to share a little party area that they have every year, and the Gorg family comes out in mass for the 3rd of July. It is, if you haven't done it, it's as good as it gets, right? I mean, it's always a big race card with big fields. It's a 4 o'clock post, and the fireworks extravaganza after to the music, to all the excitement, to the 15,000 fans. It's a date that's worth circling every year when that Canterbury schedule comes out. So make plans.
Yeah.
Like Paul said, it's sneaking up on us. 3rd of July, you won't see a game across the country what these days are like. And it isn't like anything else I've ever seen. I mean, I've been to the Belmont Stakes. I've been to 5 Kentucky Derbies. But you get the dogs out here, and you get 10 to 12,000 fans, and they're adorable. And everybody crowds up to the rail, and the gates open, and then some of the dogs run straight, some run crooked. Everybody's having a good time. There's side bets. It's just, we found something with the dogs. Going back to John Hardy when he ran our marketing department, no question, something special at Canterbury when they figured out the dogs. And so, yeah, we've got 3 more dog breeds to race, and then we all come back Labor Day weekend to see who the championship of the breeding is. And it's just worth your time to go to the website. And most times on a Sunday, right?
Yeah.
The dogs come out and we have a good time.
I've never been to a Kentucky Derby, and you've been to 5.
Been to 5.
And so, well, like, do you buy private seats or?
No.
Because it just seems like the clomp of all clomps ever to clomp.
It is. I did it when I was young. The last one I went to was way back in 2004, so it's been almost 2 decades. It is unlike any other racing experience because you've got 160,000 fans. We've had seats, but they're like out in the grandstand. We've never had like a private area. We spent most of our time, these garbage cans where Johnny the Mouse Mickelson is, off camera here, are kind of where we spend our time at Churchill Downs, spread out the racing form, have a little picnic. But it is quite the spectacle. It's the party.
I think in 2026 to sing chalk, 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 yeah.
It's going to get you.
Chalk, 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 yeah. It won't forget ya. That's been our lot of life betting today. Just favorite after favorite after favorite after favorite. Marshall Tucker Band on the horizon. Killer Queen.
Yes.
Which is the preeminent Queen cover band in the world. That one's on the horizon too. CanterburyPark.com. These concerts are cool. Generally, the evenings are beautiful. All right, we aim to have 7 winners for you tonight, each of us, or maybe combined for it. Put in Angela's picks. You'll see Miss Herman in the paddock occasionally, and we make up the Steam team here to give you the steam on a steamy Saturday in Shakopee. Now, the first race on a firm turf course, that begins the post-time pick 5. For those of you new to the racetrack, that 10% takeout, that's the lowest in the country. And what the takeout, the rake would be, is the money that we take to run the operation. Generally speaking, pick 4 takeouts are 20, 22, 23%. And a lot of tracks around the country, we go 10% on this one. And a lot of people have bought into it, and they're playing it in kind. Scratch number 1, Loring Park. No superfecta wagering in race 1. 3-5-4 for me. What about you?
Big scratch with Loring Park, the morning line favorite, out. So with the 1 horse out, I stay with the same horse I had all along. I'm going to try Go for Gold here. 3rd off the layoff. 3rd time back already at the meet. Yikes. This horse is aggressive. Good stalking speed. I think the 6 horse for our good buddy Ted Corvallis gets the lead. Has those good turf bloodlines. We'll see if he can stretch out off a super impressive win on the main track. I think Go for Gold gets first run. I think both the 3 and 4 are going to be making a big move from the back of the pack. And if Go for Gold can do what he's supposed to do, which is press and pounce, he'll be tough to beat. If Botani doesn't let him by, then the 3 and 4 are going to be a problem. I go 5-4-3.
Yeah, number 3, Sarge's Sermon, just won at this class level on this turf course. Now, the final time, 130 and a piece, that ain't that great. But there aren't a lot of world beaters in this race to beat with Loring Park out. So I think if Sarge's Sermon can do close to what he did last time and we get the right kind of odds, then I'll be making a win bet on that one. Second race, fast main track. Scratch number 2, Bobo Girl. Scratch number 2, Bobo Girl. No superfecta wagering in this one. They go a mile. I'm on the 6. Kevin's on the 1. Angela's on the 5. The Steam team has 3/5 of this bad boy covered.
Yeah, and I was on the 2 and disappointed to see that horse scratched. They were putting the blinkers on, and I fall into the 2 who I didn't love with my initial analysis, and then I just kind of looked at the race and said, all right, well, it's a trainer I really enjoy betting, Tony Rengsdorf. It's Jermaine Bridgemahan. Hasn't raced since last September, which is the question mark. So I'll be paying attention when the horses are parading around in the paddock to see how fit she looks. But trusting Tony Rengsdorf, I think she'll be ready to go. I'm with you on the 5 and 6. The 5 looks like Lone Speed, and the 6 looks like a horse that's just sitting on a win, like jockey Kelsey Haar, who's also sitting on a win. So I go 1, 5, and 6, and this is not a race where I would go too skinny on your pick 4.
Yeah, I took the 6, who never has won on the turf, but then again, finding turf victories in this field, it's impossible because nobody's won on the turf. But nevertheless, unless I'm missing something here, no, nobody. Excuse me, it's a dirt race. But with Lady Astrid, the distance was what I was talking about. Hasn't won at the distance, and I'm not one that. I mean, what Kevin said is absolutely right as to the reason I took Lady Astrid. I'm not one to be like, Kelsey Haar is due. This horse is due. It just doesn't work like that. But when you go back and look at this horse's last 2 races, specifically the awful start in the last Oaklawn race, and the move the horse made off the far turn until between the 16th and the 8th, probably 175 to go, that was a legit move. I think this horse is really, really sharp right now. I predict it is closer to the pace, and I predict this 6 gets the money in upset fashion. 6-4-1 in race number 2. To the third race on a 7-race packet at Canterbury Park this Saturday, and back to a firm turf course. This begins our pick 5, 50-cent pick 5. Again, nation low takeout, 10%. Now, scratch numbers 3 and 4. Sadly, we only have 4 here with no show, trifecta, or superfecta wagering. That Crocodile Tears is the one that Angela took. You and I are on number 1. So we got the bookenders covered. Who do you like?
Well, I looked for some value in a small field, and I figured they're going to pound Mac Robertson on the 5. They're going to bet Angela's tout because it's a horse that's got the best figs. And I saw Troy Bethke's horse down inside with our guy Lindy Wade and thought, well, wait a minute. I mean, this horse is exiting a race against State Breds, but they went
That's it.
103 and 4. I mean,
well, that Crocodile Hunter was the bomb.
Yeah, so I'm like, that was a really good field. Came back with a bullet workout for Troy, and I don't know if this horse is fast enough to clear off on Crocodile Tears, but I think this horse is going to get a great trip. I'm going to go 1-5-6. I think he's the value of the race.
Yeah, for me, the Moon Connection race. All right, the one Moon Connection won. Moon Connection was 22-1, an absolute outsider owned by a dear friend of mine, Joy Gora, and tailored for Gold Stables. But it just, that was a wide open 9-horse field and a long shot one. I just didn't think there were great horses in that race. So I didn't want somebody coming out of that race. So now that sends me down to number 1, Withstand the Storm. And Kevin laid it out beautifully. I mean, Withstand the Storm just lost to a horse named Crocodile Hunter who, you know, might race Festival of Champions Day, believe it or not. I mean, the horse really has the potential to have some talent, and that was just, I think, his 2nd or 3rd start. So I'm betting this one to win. Hopefully I can get decent odds, 1-3-6. 4th race, number 3, The Ghost, is ridden by Israel Hernandez, and we have no scratches. I take number 7, Re-Up, and you're also on Re-Up, aren't you?
Yeah, I think this is the most wide open race on the card. I mean, I look at a field like this where they're all going to kind of be between 5-2 and 6-7-1. Why not take the horse with the most advantageous post? Yeah. I love at 6.5 furlongs having that outside post with speed. 7's got Kelsey. 7's got the best early speed numbers. And I think Kelsey around that far turn pushes the button and gets loose. And I know that extra half furlong can be an issue at this different distance, but I just don't see anybody that can keep up around that far turn. I think Re-Up gets the money 7, 6, and 5.
Yeah, when you take a peek back at Re-Up's last race, I mean, this horse went legitimately fast. The times at 23:1:46, you know, so now we're at a 23:1 down to a 22:4. So, I mean, moving to the top of the stretch, Re-Up is really, really fast. And Mongolian B, the day Re-Up was beaten, was ridden by Lindy Wade, trained by Gary Shearer. This one had just run at Chicago, but had run in some decent races. So, digging below the surface, what Kevin said about that post makes all the difference to me with that outside speed. But I don't think Re-Up makes any mistakes this time. It's going to be 7-5-6. That's the way I see it. Race number 5 begins the final pick 3 today. We race tomorrow at 1 o'clock. It's family day. So if you want to come back to the park, bring dear old dad for Father's Day festivities. Scratch numbers 1 and 3. We are relegated to 4 here, Kevin, with no show, try, or soup wagering. You're on the 5. I'm on the deuce.
I'm on the 5, but I'm going to tell folks that the 6 is the value of the race. You're not going to get 12-1 now with the scratches, but do not sleep on Bugler when you're putting together those pick 4s and pick 5s. I think Thrill Ride gets the great trip, comes charging down the stretch, and probably is the best horse and gets the money. But Bugler, to me, again, small field, Harry Hernandez, stalking speed, going to get a great trip at a decent price. So I go 5 over 6. That's my straight exacta, but I'm going to back it up with a 6-5 exacta as well.
No doubt. For me, I took Black Taka. That was before the scratches. Now, there's not really much difference made with the scratches for this horse. I'm playing a third off the layoff angle, class drop out of a turf race where I don't think the horse necessarily was able to display his proper speed on the turf compared to the dirt. I think he has not sneaky good speed. You can see it right here in the past performances, but I think he's going to open up by a length and a half or 2. I think he's the fastest of the fast here, and I think you're going to need speed tonight. 2, 5, and 4. Race number 6, scratch number 1, Angel of Attack. This begins Dr. Dan's late double. The morning line favorite is Total Surprise. That's my selection. And KG heads out west, young man, for that number 7.
Yeah, this will be my best bet of the night. I love West Island a lot. I will be betting this horse. The 2-year-old to 3-year-old angle, which Jeff Madej is very proud of. It's one of my favorite handicapping angles in the game. Those speed figures can jump up a couple notches. So that 51 he ran last year here at Canterbury turns into a 60 to 65. Outside speed, Harry Hernandez, bullet work from the gate on June 4th. Bye-bye on the front end. West Island for me, love the horse, 7, 2, and 3.
Yep, that's really tough to disagree with. You know, this horse I took, number 2, Total Surprise, does have early speed, and I don't think is as fast as the 7, but I think will be close enough to maybe do some damage. Trainer Joel Byrne puts blinkers on Total Surprise to try to get the horse to, from what I understand, get the horse to calm down over the final about 300, 400 yards. And Total Surprise, I generally never take money burners like this. This horse has been 1 to 2, 4 to 5, 7 to 5 or whatever, and lost each time. And quite honestly, might be favored here. I think the blinkers trick with the work from an elite training operation, I think that's going to make the difference. So I'll take Total Surprise. Let's go on to the 7th race. It's the luckiest of all lucky lasts, and we finish on the turf. Scratch numbers 1, Dylan Rocks, and 7, Cashanova. 6-2-8 for me. 6-2-8 for me.
Good betting race here. I don't know what to do with the 4, King Nate. He was so impressive beating cheaper. I would keep an eye on the 4 for your exotic wagers. I fall into the 5 here for the Allwellings. It's Lindy Wade. It's Gary Shear. The barn's been hot. In from Chicago. Turf numbers are okay. 5 career starts, 4 for 5 in the trifecta, has enough natural speed to get a good trip, and I think really benefits Paul with the scratch of the 7, Cashanova. That speed's taken out of the race, so now this horse gets a really fair trip on or near the lead. I go 5, 6, and 8, and do not leave the 4 horse off your trifectas if you're betting them.
Now, KG's going to head up to the Dark Star press box and specifically the First Bet studio and give you a post-time pick 4. He also will have a power play for you later on video monitors. Angela, one of the members of the Steam team, she'll have a pick 4 later, and also Angela's angle, and I'll call the races for you. On behalf of our television department and all of us here at Canterbury, and dads who we won't see, an early happy Father's Day to all of you. God bless all of you. Thank you very much for coming out to the racetrack. Have a good day. How many minutes to post?
20?
What?
No, 15. Okay. Perfectly timed.
Stopping at a 15.
All right, race fans, time for our post-time pick four with that industry low 10% takeout. I've assembled a $27 ticket. In race one, even though it's a small field, I wanted to use 3 horses. It's going to be the 3, the 4, and the 5. Angela's 4, PA's 3, and I've got the 5 on top. I don't think the 5 is any kind of stone-cold cinch, so I'm going to spread a little bit here into race 2, where I think it's a 2-horse race, the 1 and 5. 5's got the early speed. 1 should be sitting off, ready to pounce. I think that race is pretty formful, and then we try to spread it out in the next 2 legs. In race 3, 1, 5, and 6. 5 and 6 will duel for favoritism. My top pick in the race is the one who I think will be 3 or 4 to 1. Then we're going to go with 3 horses in the 4th, which looks like another tough little puzzle. I use 5, 6, and 7. My top pick is the 7 with Kelsey Harb. 3, 4, 5 with 1, 5, with 1, 5, 6, with 5, 6, 7. All that fun for just $27. With that 10% takeout, it could pay hundreds today, even though we've got small fields. This thing could pay $200, $300, $400. All we need is 1 upset. All you need to do right now is use those 4 minutes wisely and get your pick 4 ticket in. Race 1, the lid lifter for the post-time pick 4 in under 4 minutes.
All righty, the horses are at the starting gate, and it is race time for the first on a Saturday at Canterbury, provided by Continental Diamond and the Minnesota Lottery. The first in particular is provided by Loeffler. From assessment to strategy and design to implementation, give Loeffler a consideration. Relegated to a quintet to begin a Saturday. It's the Saturday 7, and it is now turf time. And they're racing. Sarge's Sermon stumbled shortly after the start. Ghost Strategy looks to disappear in the winner's circle at 13-1. And Ghost Strategy immediately finds the front right next to the rail. Now that one is being joined by Gopher Gold. And Minnesotan Gopher Gold attaches himself to Ghost Strategy. And those two travel nearly in perfect harmony around the turn. Likewise for Zaffa, along with Zaffa being to the inside of Botany, and then Sarge's Sermon is only 5 lengths from a dawdling early pace. Ghost Strategy has to love this, not going quickly at all. It is Ghost Strategy. Make that Ghost Strategy to the inside of Gopher Gold, about 2.5 clear from Zaffa, who is attempting to pull away from Botany, and the one still in last is Sarge's Sermon, trying to win 2 in a row from 6 out of it. And now off the far turn, Ghost Strategy has had wire-to-wire strategy since the gates popped. Gopher Gold's on the move to the outside. Right behind them is Zaffa. Then we come to Sarge's Sermon, sequestered to the inside of Botany, and they come charging down the Canterbury Park lawn. Up goes Gopher Gold at 3-2, and Gopher indeed goes for the gold. Between runners, Sarge's Sermon is finishing fast after the bad start, but not fast enough to get Gopher Gold. Sky U Ma, number 5, Sky U Ma. Number 5, Gopher Gold, ran first. 5:3:42 in the first. Final time 129.27. And we also had a $10,000 claim. Claim information shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, number 4, Zaffa, was claimed. The price $10,000. The new trainer, Tony Rengstorff, and the new owners, Rocket Wrench Racing. That's a claim from race 1, Zaffa. The third place finisher, Rengstorff Rivak. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget every Saturday, enjoy $2 off all by the glass wine and sparkling varieties, including Kim Crawford, Meiomi, Woodbridge, and Ruffino. Also, race 3, we have the Cutwater Trifecta. Stay tuned for that in a couple of races. And we thank Apple Autos, Ashley Home Store, Jim Beam, and Quick Trip for summer sponsorship. The first is official. 5-3-4. Second race, Fast Main Track, Scratch 2, Bobo Girl. We welcome our featured groups to the racetrack this evening. More on that momentarily, because into the winner's enclosure, Gopher Gold and Alonzo Quinones. Gopher Gold is owned and trained by Jose Silva Jr. Gopher Gold is a 7-year-old chestnut gelding by Horse Greeley out of Lion Cub, bred in Minnesota by Richard Bramer and Cheryl Sprick. The first winner is Gopher Gold. Our featured groups at the racetrack tonight include those here with the Hurdles Foundation, Wisher Father's Day, the 40th birthday party, and Amy and Jake Jackson's wedding party. Welcome to the races, and good luck. And they're racing. Sarge's Sermon stumbled shortly after the start. Ghost Strategy looks to disappear in the winner's circle at 13-1. And Ghost Strategy immediately finds the front right next to the rail. Now that one is being joined by Gopher Gold. And Minnesotan Gopher Gold attaches himself to Ghost Strategy. And those two travel nearly in perfect harmony around the turn. Likewise for Zaffa, along with Zaffa being to the inside of Botany, and then Sarge's Sermon is only 5 lengths from a dawdling early pace. Ghost Strategy has to love this, not going quickly at all. It is Ghost Strategy, make that Ghost Strategy to the inside of Gopher Gold, about 2.5 clear from Zaffa, who is attempting to pull away from Botany, and the one still in last is Sarge's Sermon, trying to win 2 in a row from 6 out of it. And now off the far turn, Ghost Strategy has had wire-to-wire strategy since the gates popped. Gopher Gold's on the move to the outside. Right behind them is Zaffa. Then we come to Sarge's Sermon, sequestered to the inside of Botany, and they come charging down the Canterbury Park lawn. Up goes Gopher Gold at 3-2, and Gopher indeed goes for the gold. Between runners, Sarge's Sermon is finishing fast after the bad start, but not fast enough to get Gopher Gold. Sky U Ma, number 5, Sky U Ma. Race number 2 at Canterbury is provided by Apple Autos, the official vehicle supplier for this racetrack. We have a location right around the corner. It's Apple Ford Shakopee. Also, join us Saturday afternoons in the future for a tour of the horse stables, paddock, and visits with horse owners and special guest presentations. The tour also includes a live racing ticket and a first race winner's circle viewing experience. If you would like to go behind the scenes at Canterbury, including to the horse stables where the animals live, learn more at canterburypark.com.
Welcome out to the paddock on this lovely Saturday early evening, little twilight racing, which we do each and every Saturday throughout the summer. Tomorrow afternoon, it's Father's Day, first post, 1 o'clock, and it's family day out the track, so all kinds of activities for the kids, but most important, a great day to bring out Dad. Here they come for race 2, major scratch of number 2, Bobo Girl, who was the likely odds-on favorite. I'm going to scratch into the first horse we're going to look at. That's number 1, Start Singing. I wanted to get a good look at her in the paddock because she hasn't raced since last September. In fact, the last time she ran on our main track, it was in a $100,000 stakes race last August. Ran a good third behind It's Her Time and Honey Bella. Has good workouts. It's a trainer we trust in Tony Rengsdorf. It's a jockey we trust in Jermaine Bridgmahan. But the layoff was the question. And she looks real fit down here. Great muscle, good-looking, healthy coat. Ears are up. You can see she's kind of looking around, taking in the surroundings. The fitness will not be an issue, and I didn't think it would be with Tony Rengsdorf calling the shots, so I'll try her at 3-2. Good-looking gray next in line is Merlin's sister. Zeke Laura gets the call for Caitlin Betford. Do note this, 4 times on our main track. 2 of those 4 races, this horse has been victorious. Probably needed that last start, so a little more fit. Second time back off the layoff. Should likely sit mid-pack and try to make a late move, and is a juicy 7-1 up on the board. Number 4 is Yankee Agate, Constantino Roman for Mr. David Miller. I like when David Miller goes with the stretch out here. He knows he's got early speed. He knows it's a track that plays to speed, and he's got a horse that's bred to go all day. Gemologist was a real nice horse, his daddy, around 2 turns. So if this horse can get loose, this horse is going to be a problem. We'll see if he can shake loose with Roman calling the shots. The horse right next to him in the gate probably is the key to his situation because the 5, Kira Fever, also has speed. Maybe not as much speed, but exits some fast races and looks like a real problem as far as the pace goes. If 4 and 5 hook up, I think 1 and 6 can reap the benefits. Paul Allen loves the 6. Lady Astrid, that horse should be charging from just off the pace. But let's talk about Harry Hernandez on the 5. He draws just outside the 4, so he has options when to put his horse in the race. The 4 drew inside, likely has to go. I'll say this, both the 4 and the 5, along with the 6, look spectacular. Look at the 6 prancing here under Kelsey Haar. Lady Astrid's going to hope that the 4 and 5 cook on the front end because she's going to try to come get that money from off the pace. Had a horrible start out of the gate last time, but PA made a good point. Off that sprint race, likely could be a little closer to the pace. I think a very evenly matched field here. Who do you like in race number 2? Either way, we're going to have some big crowds here this summer. Why not download the First Bet app? Easy to deposit, even easier to withdraw all your winnings. The First Bet app is the preferred app of all of us in the press box. Fillies and Mares, 1 mile, race 2, coming up, coming at ya next.
We're down here in the winner's circle, and it's time for categories. Haven't played that much yet this year, and I have Jessica over here who is going to face off against one of our STEAM team members and see if she can name more dog breeds. Do you have a dog? Do you like dogs very much?
Yes, I do have a Rhodesian Ridgeback, and I love dogs.
I can almost guarantee that none of us would name Rhodesian Ridgeback, so you've already got that one. You're going to have 10 seconds. We need our timekeeper to keep 10 seconds and track the answers for you. And as simple as that. If you can name more, you win a daily double pack. Get some goodies to go along here with your day at the park. Do we have 10 seconds on the clock? Okay. 10 seconds. Give me the signal and go.
Terrier, Bulldog, Rhodesian Ridgeback, Black-mouthed Cur, Poodle, Husky, Siberian, something.
Okay. All right, that's it. How many did she get? 8. Okay. Let's turn around and see if we can get less than 8. Oh, my.
Yorkie, Maltese, Bulldog, Corgi, Golden Retriever, Black Laboratory, Mutt. All right.
The Black Laboratory has made its return. And you beat Kevin. Congratulations. You win a daily double pack.
Thank you. Super excited.
And you have some great dog breed knowledge, too. Sorry, Kevin. Better luck next time, and have fun the rest of your day. Thanks for joining me down here, Jessica.
Thank you.
It is now post time for the second race. Second of 7. It's a Saturday 7. As they move in line, Yankee Agate goes in, followed by Jake Jackson. Kira Fever next in, and Lady Astrid last in line. And they're racing. Lady Astrid on the outside pops out of the gate speedily, and so does Start Singing to the inside. And Start Singing, the 8-5 favorite, is whisking through on the inside in search of the lead, but that belongs to Yankee Agate. And Yankee Agate at 6-1 grabs the lead as they negotiate the turn. Lady Astrid made the start today and is close handy, 2 lengths from the front and about 5 clear from Kira Fever. After that, the white horse Merlin's Sister is last and 12 lengths from the front. Up the Canterbury Park barn side they stroll, and a Yankee Agate and Constantino Roman lead it by 1. From number 1, Start Singing, unseen in 9 months, but good to go. And Start Singing now is looking for the right note to the inside. Likewise for the bookender, Lady Astrid to the outside. They have Yankee Agate in a sandwich, but that 4 still leads. About 8 after that to Kira Fever, and still nothing from the white horse Merlin's Sister. Yankee Agate, Lady Astrid. Lady Astrid moves on the pace setter, and now Bridge Mahan takes the 1, Start Singing to the outside for the stretch drive, and these 3 are a mile clear from the rest. Lady Astrid on the grind. Yankee Agate tired. Outside of that, Start Singing, and they head for home, charging down the Canterbury Park dirt track. It is Start Singing. Lady Astrid very game, but not good enough to this stage to beat Start Singing. Start Singing from Lady Astrid. Start Singing to get the money, and number 1 is number 1 in race 2. Start Singing and rejoice if you had a win bet on number 1. And the second race is official. 1-6-4-3. First double, $6.70. Favorites this evening at Canterbury are 2 for 2. Race number 3 begins the 50-cent pick 5 with a nation low 10% takeout. Turf course firm. The rail 20 feet out. In the third, scratch numbers 3 and 4, which means no try or superfecta wagering. Likewise, no show wagering in the third. Into the winner's enclosure, it is Start Singing and jockey Jermaine Bridgemahan. Start Singing is a 4-year-old bay filly by declaration of war. out of Poofy Feathers, bred in Minnesota by Suzanne Stables. And Suzanne Stables are the winning owners. Tony Rengstorff, the winning trainer. Race number 3, courtesy of Michelob Golden Light and Ashley Furniture, right across the street from Canterbury. We also thank Continental Diamond and ContinentalDiamond.com. And they're racing. Lady Astrid on the outside pops out of the gate speedily, and so does Start Singing to the inside. And Start Singing, the 8-5 favorite, is whisking through on the inside in search of the lead, but that belongs to Yankee Agate. And Yankee Agate at 6-1 grabs the lead as they negotiate the turn. Lady Astrid made the start today and is close handy, 2 lengths from the front and about 5 clear from Kira Fever. After that, the white horse Merlin's Sister is last and 12 lengths from the front. Up the Canterbury Park barn side they stroll, and a Yankee Agate and Constantino Roman lead it by 1. From number 1, Start Singing, unseen in 9 months, but good to go. And Start Singing now is looking for the right note to the inside. Likewise for the bookender, Lady Astrid to the outside. They have Yankee Agate in a sandwich, but that 4 still leads. About 8 after that to Kira Fever, and still nothing from the white horse Merlin's Sister. Yankee Agate, Lady Astrid. Lady Astrid moves on the pace setter, and now Bridge Mahan takes the 1, Start Singing to the outside for the stretch drive, and these 3 are a mile clear from the rest. Lady Astrid on the grind. Yankee Agate tired. Outside of that, Start Singing, and they head for home, charging down the Canterbury Park dirt track. It is Start Singing. Lady Astrid very game, but not good enough to this stage to beat Start Singing. Start Singing from Lady Astrid. Start Singing to get the money, and number 1 is number 1 in race 2. Start Singing and rejoice if you had a win bet on number 1.
starts singing, gets home in front. And we'll go back to the turf course for race number 3. This is a 5-furlong dash, and if you would please scratch a couple of them out of here. Take out the 3 Lolo's Laughter and the 4 Palace Attained. So, as a result, we take away show wagering. No tries, no supers as well. We start with Withstand the Storm on the inside, looking to break his maiden and start number 6. This will be the first over the turf, and the one-turn races show a lot of speed on the page, and Withstand the Storm should be involved in the pace you would guess throughout, but Withstand the Storm with that surface switch is going with some blood that really doesn't bode well for the turf, but that speed should probably cancel that out anyway. 8-5 is the price that you have on your current co-favorite on the rail, with 9-2 Western Charm next door. Western Charm has plenty of experience, and he too showed speed. Of course, those were against maiden claimers down at Turf Paradise. Prior to that, he had been at Remington Park, trying some stuff going long, going short, even in the mud. But still, Western Charm really has only been consistent in the speed department, so we'd expect him to be a part of the pace throughout. Right now, he is 9-2. You get 2-1 on Stomping Moon, and this one could be the key to the race because he can pass horses. Stomping Moon has stayed off the pace in the past and come on in one-turn races. Now, he did try the turf in between all of those sprints. That was a mile, and he was only beaten a couple of lengths. He was beaten by Chase the Chaos, and Chase the Chaos ended up in the Preakness this year, so read into that what you will. But Stomping Moon still has some things to prove going one turn. He does have some pace to run down. He only has 3 to beat. There are some things to like about him, too. He has a very versatile sort of pedigree. Right now, he is 2-1. And Stomping Moon makes a nice impression down here in the paddock. Very mellow for start number 5. On the outside is my top choice, very speedy Crocodile Tears. He's only making start number 3, and Crocodile Tears is another one who's going to move over to the turf. He'll get a cut back in distance, too, and I thought he might be the speed of the speed. I'm surprised that he's 8-5 right now. I would expect that to probably go lower as they get down to post time. His mother was pure speed, but she did like synthetic tracks too. There's not a whole bunch of turf blood to go on in the family. There's just not a lot in the immediate family, but they are a versatile sort of group, and Crocodile Tears I don't think should find this too difficult a task in start number 3. He is your 8-5 now. Outright favorite, 9-5, just one click up on Withstand the Storm on the inside, but the 4 of them are going to go out and vie for their maiden win in about 10 minutes. This is the start of the 50-cent, 10% takeout pick 5, and that's why Kevin Gorg's not down here in the paddock. He's up in the studio waiting to take you through that sequence, and that's coming up next.
Welcome to the press box. It is time for our power play. We find a horse later on the card that can help you make money, specifically in that pick 4 and pick 5 later in the card. Race 6, we love number 7, West Island. Let's take a look at the past performances. A couple things I look for. First of all, the horse hasn't raced since last September. We've got steady drills down here, including a bullet drill. Bullet drill is the fastest workout that morning at that distance, and it was from the gate. This horse is ready to roll. Trainer Tony Rengsdorf, he's already got a win in the card. That's a good thing. We got Harry Hernandez in the saddle. In this most recent start last September against a really tough field, here's what I like about the horse. Keep an eye on this horse right here. West Island, orange cap on the rail. And in maiden races where horses haven't won yet, these are a lot of times the most difficult of all. And you can see he's been doing all the dirty work here, even in slow motion fashion. They're going fast. And he's done all this work early to set up for these horses late. And he's going to get beat in the state. He's going to run third, but he's going to run a really good third. He only gets beat a neck. And what I like about this horse, as we slow it down again, he digs in late. He showed some grit. Today, he won't be the favorite. He's the second choice. He draws outside. He has speed. We're going to look to score a goal on the power play. Race 6, number 7. Good luck. Now, from the power play into the pick 5, which is going to feature a single of that horse we just talked about. We'll get there soon enough. Here in race 3, I think it's a 3-horse race. I've got the 1 on top. I respect the 5 and 6. I'll use all 3. In race 4, it's 5, 6, and 7 for me. They're all going to be a similar price. They're all going to offer value. One of them is going to win. Race 5, there's only 4 horses. We're taking them all. We're going to cover the entire field with all 4 horses. I think the outside horse, Bugler, who will be the biggest price, has a chance to win. We're going to single our play, power play, singled in race 6. That is West Island. If we're alive, this thing could pay decent. 5, 6, and 8 in the lucky last. I've got the 5 super wise on top, who's 5-1. 6 will likely be favored. 8 will likely be the second choice. It's a $54 investment. 156 with 567 with all, with 7 with 568. Play my ticket for that $54. Modify that ticket by either adding or subtracting horses, but you can't win it if you don't get in it. And our pick 5s have been so big this year. That 10% takeout is the lowest in the game. It offers you value. The pick 5 and race 3 happen in just 3 minutes. Fans, don't get shut out.
It is now post time for race number 3. And they're racing, and they've broken a line. Withstand the Storm pops out of the gate and puts one on the field. Crocodile Tears also with good speed, likewise for Western Charm, and those are the top 3. After that, we come back to Stomping Moon, and Stomping Moon is far out of it, actually advancing about 5 out of it now as they head off the far turn. The quartet is separated by 5 with her boots on, withstanding the storm and offering up a challenge is Crocodile Tears to the outside. And those two are locked in battle as they head for home, and they've run away from Western Charm. Behind them is Stomping Moon into the final furlong. Withstand the Storm, trying to withstand Crocodile Tears, trying to make that one cry in the shadow of the wire. 1 and 6 to the line together. Withstand the Storm, withstood the storm. The third race is official. 55.79 the final time. And we get to the fourth race now. In the fourth race, number 3, The Ghost, is ridden by Israel Hernandez. Entering the winner's enclosure, Withstand the Storm, and Canterbury Park Salt of the Earth, he is Lindy Wade. Withstand the Storm is owned by Karen Offerman and trained by Troy Bethke. This is a 3-year-old brown son of Midnight Storm out of Sweet Hots. The victorious Withstand the Storm was bred in Minnesota by Kathleen Materius. Race number 4, 22 minutes from now. And they're racing, and they've broken a line. Withstand the Storm pops out of the gate and puts one on the field. Crocodile Tears also with good speed, likewise for Western Charm, and those are the top 3. After that, we come back to Stomping Moon, and Stomping Moon is far out of it, actually advancing about 5 out of it now as they head off the far turn. The quartet is separated by 5 with her boots on, withstanding the storm and offering up a challenge is Crocodile Tears to the outside, and those two are locked in battle as they head for home, and they've run away from Western Charm. Behind them is Stomping Moon into the final furlong. Withstand the Storm trying to withstand Crocodile Tears, trying to make that one cry in the shadow of the wire. 1 and 6 to the line together. Withstand the Storm withstood the storm.
We've got one of the very best buglers in the country, so it makes sense that tonight's angle is in the 5th, and it's Bugler. Now, Bugler, the horse, is not not quite Lynn Dykert as far as his credentials, but he is an excellent fit in our 5th race tonight. There's a couple of scratches to help Bugler, but we're going to take a look at the human side of things with him. Bugler has a good set of races with Harry Hernandez, who's also going to be aboard him tonight. Now, these are the previous 4 races that you see, the most recent 4 races. 1st through 4th, but we're going to look at 2 in particular here at Canterbury. These are in his past running lines, and these are when he's drawn the outside post. That's what we're working with tonight with Bugler, and it helps because this horse doesn't always break that quickly. That's what this line right here is in a horse's past performances. If they don't break that fast, an outside post can help him gather his stride and get up towards the lead. And that's what he tried to do on July 27th, and that's a race we're going to look at in just a moment. These are the numbers with his trainer Ryan Kenny and his jockey Harry Hernandez. You can see they don't team up that often, but all of this green is good. That's above average numbers for his trainer Ryan Kenny. You can see 13 win percentage together, 42% of the time they're in the money, and if you just bet them in the blind, you'd make money. That's just with those 2, but we're going to look more at Bugler from last year. Now, Bugler took on a horse named Calibrate, and Calibrate, to his outside, just ran 2nd in the Brooklyn. Now, what's the Brooklyn? That was on Belmont Stakes Day. That's a graded stakes race. That's this horse, and that's Bugler. That's who we're working with tonight. And if Bugler runs anything like this, and he very well could in that group and on the outside, Bugler is going to be a very lucrative angle in race number 5 tonight. Remember, that's Bugler. We got one of the best. Maybe he can follow suit. We're going to talk pick 4 coming up next. And in talking about pick 4, we did mention Bugler, and he's one of a couple choices in race number 5, but it starts here in the 4th, and I stay towards the outside. My top pick summer all year is your current favorite right now. He wasn't on the morning line, but I thought his speed would be very useful in here, and same goes for Re-Up, the horse to his outside. I thought that these 2 with V-Lock towards their inside might race away and keep things comfortable on the front end, making it hard for horses like New Dice to close in on them late. In the 5th, I did mention Bugler. He's my top pick in there, and the horse just to his inside, Thrill Ride, who does race with front bar shoes. Looks like he could take advantage of some sort of pace stool. Scratches do not help that one, to be sure. Now in the 6th, I did use a few of them in here. They're towards the inside because there's 2 firsters along with the big favorite, Total Surprise. I didn't see many of the experienced runners beating him, so I just used the inexperienced ones to complement that one. 4, 5, and 8 close out the ticket. Had to change some things around with the scratches. Kevin Gorg will not be pleased to know that Super Wise is my new top pick in there, and that makes the ticket you see on screen for $18. We've got 14 minutes till race number 4 right now, and Kevin and I will team up to take you through it in a moment.
Kevin Gorg, Angela Herman ready to go through race number 4. We're going to go 6 1/2 furlongs here out of the chute. Put Izzy Hernandez on the 3. And on a night, Ange, where we've been stuck with some scratches and some 4 and 5 horse fields, this one actually looked pretty bountiful. And in a 6 1/2 furlong race, if there's going to be an upset tonight and a big price, maybe this is the one.
Yeah, and I thought that this would be a good sort of crossover between the early pick 4 and the late one. because, well, we don't have any scratches to start with, but I couldn't narrow this down to a single of any sort. And I've taken a lot of opinions, I guess, of this race, and this is the one where they're the most different. I ended up with Summer All Year, but I think when you see the grid, you'll probably see a lot of numbers in here because you question whether or not Summer All Year can take these all the way at 6.5. And this distance can get the best of a lot of horses who are really good at 5.5 or 6. But what would be your main argument for and against Summer All Year? Because I don't think, it doesn't look like you used him on top. You used him in second.
Yeah, I think he's the horse to beat. I think when the dust settles, he's the favorite. We'll see how that plays out, but I do think he'll be the lowest priced horse come post time. I couldn't find a hole in him other than the fact that he's been running route races and been flashing speed there, and he's going to run into, I think, a quicker pace here where I think the 7 gets the jump on him. And I just thought on a track that's likely going to be playing to speed, Kelsey Harr's horse on the outside, to me, looks like the speed of the speed, slight class drop, slight lean. The 6, though, is super dangerous. Turf to dirt, second time off the layoff, and I've always thought that horses coming out of route races, whether it's dirt or turf, have an advantage at 6.5 furlongs. We've talked about this for a long time, Angela. That extra half furlong matters, and horses on the lead tend to get tired because they're not used to going 6.5. They're used to going 5.5 or 6. To me, that's where the race is going to be won or lost. I think it comes down to that final football field. I trust Kelsey Hart to get this horse enough of a breather around that far turn, but I fear the 6. And if they hook up and neither one can separate themselves, then the 5 is absolutely in the mix. New Day should be rolling late.
Right, and he will be rolling late regardless of, what pace he has in front of him. He'll be coming, but I like New Dice a little bit better on a wet track like we just talked about. And even though New Dice does perform well at this distance, New Dice has just had his shots at it, and the price that you're probably going to get on him is going to be much lower than what you get on him now. He is one of the closers in here. The other 3 are on the inside, and they're coming off layoffs. It didn't look like a race I thought were too many were going to come storming from the back. So I saw it kind of the same way you did, with the outside 2 perhaps making a race of their own. Now, in looking at the horse on screen right now, he could be the key to the race because Vlock does have speed. And even though this horse, I think, is probably going to really show his stuff at Remington Park. He's an Oklahoma bred. You'd expect them to take aim at that meet. How much do you think Vlock can take out of Summer All Year and re-up?
Well, it depends on which horse we see. This horse comes out of a race where they went 48 to the half and couldn't get near it. That's on the turf. We're back on the dirt.
Right.
So if you go back in the running lines to maybe September of last year, this horse, 22-4, was right there. So this horse absolutely could be an X factor. And, I don't think the horse, as you mentioned, is pointing to a victory here. Probably more of a fitness tightener as they get ready for Remington, but absolutely a pace factor. And I think, again, if you've, like Ange and I, settled on the outside 2 horses, she's on the 6, I'm on the 7, you hope that they can clear that 4. The other X factor for me before we finish up our paddock preview is the 1. Robertino Diodoro is a trainer that we're all very familiar with. Off to a slow start, but hasn't had a lot of horses run here. 3 starters with 2 second-place finishes. That bullet work on June the 11th really caught my eye, and the Bug Boy who rides has been awesome. Do you fear the 1 late?
I worry because they haven't been able to win with him in 3 starts since they've claimed him. Usually it doesn't take that long for them to figure out what they need to fix with a horse and get him at least to hit the board, and they haven't done that with him yet. I think Tale of Truth is maybe a claim that they haven't figured out quite yet, or they don't want to figure out, so they're just going to see if anybody will take him for 10. But I did use him in 4th, and I would definitely not talk anybody from using him underneath because he'll probably stay a decent price and probably go up from where he is now.
To your point, there's the experts. They're spread out this race. If you're playing that pick 4, you might want to use a couple different numbers here. Ange is on the 6. I'm on the 7. And we're almost ready for post time. They head down the tunnel. We get that bugler that Angela talked about and the call to the post. It's late pick 4 time right out here at the park.
It's post time. Post time for the fourth race as they move in line. Number two is being pulled out. Number two is being pulled out of the race. Ravina Lane out of the race. They're chasing Re-Up, tugging along the field, and it's Re-Up opening up by 2. It is Re-Up from New Dice rolling into second, but shoved on. After that, Summer All Year. Tale of Truth came out of the gate slowly. Now is circumnavigating into action with a quarter of a mile to go, but working hard to do so. And Re-Up still leads it. It is Re-Up showing the way. Vlock is 9 lengths from the lead. After that, to Ghost, and they're chasing Re-Up, still leading it clearly. It is Re-Up into the final furlong. Tale of Truth last out of the gate, trying to be first home. We're down to the bookenders, perhaps. Re-Up now between them. New Dice. Re-Up has taken them gate to wire. Number 7, Re-Up, ran first, 7.516, and it is unofficial. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank Think Minnesota Realty for summer sponsorship, specifically Dave Lilja of Think Minnesota Realty. That is our partner for real estate. So if you're looking for a new home, cabin, or perhaps land, contact Dave at thinkminnesota.com. And the fourth race is official. The winner was claimed for $10,000 by trainer Joel Burnt. And the owners are Burnt Racing, Renee House, and Kent Larson. $10,000 claim of the winner, Re-Up, Burnt, for Burnt, House, Larson. Into the winner's circle, it's number 7, Re-Up, and Kelsey Har. Re-Up is owned and trained by Robert Klein. Final time, 117.38. Racing. Tale of the Truth was off in last and off in first. Summer all year. Re-Up revs up to the outside, and Re-Up strides out to take a narrow lead. After that, we have Vlock, and Vlock is to the inside of New Dice, rolling along 4 lengths from it. Tale of Truth recovers, but in a very tight spot, checking a bit with 4.5 furlongs to go. After that, we come back to DeGhost and Ravina Lane. Number 2 is being pulled out of the race. Ravina Lane out of the race. They're chasing Re-Up, tugging along the field, and it's Re-Up opening up by 2. It is Re-Up from New Dice rolling into second, but shoved on. After that, Summer All Year. Tale of Truth came out of the gate slowly, now is circumnavigating into action with a quarter of a mile to go, but working hard to do so, and Re-Up still leads it. It is Re-Up showing the way. Vlock is 9 lengths from the lead. After that, DeGhost, and they're chasing Re-Up, still leading it clearly. It is Re-Up into the final furlong. Tale of Truth last out of the gate, trying to be first home. We're down to the bookenders, perhaps. Re-Up now between them. New Dice. Re-Up has taken them gate to wire. Number 7, Re-Up, ran Ladies and gentlemen, Canterbury Park thanks Archkey Solutions, Choice Electric, Culver's, and Turtles Bar and Grill for 2023 sponsorship. And Gopher Indeed goes goes for the gold. Between runners, Sarge's Sermon is finishing fast after the bad start, but not fast enough to get Gopher Gold. Sky You Ma, number 5, Sky You Ma. Down the Canterbury Park dirt track. It is Start Singing. Lady Astrid, very game, but not good enough to this stage to beat Start Singing. Start Singing from Lady Astrid. Start Singing to get the money. And number 1 is number 1 in race 2. Start Singing and rejoice if you had a win bet on number 1. Behind them is Stomping Moon into the final furlong. Withstand the Storm, trying to withstand Crocodile Tears, trying to make that one cry in the shadow of the wire. 1 and 6 to the line together. Withstand the Storm, withstood the storm. Re-Up still leading it clearly. It is Re-Up into the final furlong. Tale of Truth last out of the gate, trying to be first home. We're down to the bookenders perhaps. Re-Up now between them. New Dice. Re-Up has taken them gate to wire.
Well, congratulations go out to one of the hardest working jockeys on the backside. She is Kelsey Haar. A perfect ride in race number 4. How about the late betting action? That horse was 7-2 morning line and was around 5-2 or 3-1, and boom, the big money comes in late on Kelsey, and she gives the horse a great ride, and they get the win in race 4. Now we sail to our final 3 races on the dance card. Take out the 1 and 3 here. No show, no try, no super, but as you can see by the betting board, it's wide open. Black Tekka right now is favored at 3-2, and he's a good horse. He's a 3-year-old. He's the son of Sharp Azteca. That is great sprint breeding. He's the speed of the speed. He gets Lindy Wade looking for his second one in the saddle, and his trainer, Gary Shear, has just been so impressive this season so far. You know, trainers, if they win 10 to 15%, that's a solid season. Gary Shear's up at 38%. Awesome trainer, awesome guy. Black Tekka, the horse to catch if you want to cash here in the 5th. Number 4 is Lynchtown. Luis Valenzuela gets the call here. Last time out at 6.5 furlongs, did all the dirty work early, and then Reckoning Day came and got the money. Reckoning Day is a monster. He'd be 1-5 in this race. That was significantly tougher. Big drop in class here. Softer competition is the angle with some early speed, and 3-1. I'm going to go for Thrill Ride for Mr. Lothenbach. Joel Burnt, one of the very best in the Midwest, and Constantino Roman, his jockey, is his go-to guy. Jeff Madey's handicapping angle here is the Ship and Dip. They come in from Chicago. They take a slight dip in class. Third off the layoff, I think this horse gets a great trip. I think the 2, the 4, and the 6 all want to go to the front. I think something's got to give. I think Roman can sit just off and come get the money when they turn for home. The horse I fear the most, though, is the horse to the outside. I think Bugler is set up to run a big race, and I loved Angela Herman's angle. She took us through about half an hour ago. This horse loves the outside post and ran against some really good horses here in Calibrate being one of them. So I love Angie's angle. I love the tout, and I love Harry Hernandez in the saddle. So I've got the 5 on top, but there's no way I'm letting that 6 beat me. I'm going to box them in an exacta, and they're my 2 horses I keyed in on in the pick 4 and pick 5. What a cool race here. 4 horses, but all 4, as you can see by the betting board, are taking money. Really fun. It could be a jock's race. Which jock makes the move? Which horse gets the trip? It's all kinds of fun and games right out here at Canterbury Park. Tomorrow, Father's Day, we do it at 1 o'clock, and do not miss next Wednesday, the big night. Northern Stars, the Turf Festival. We're going to be on Fox Sports 1. We're going big time Wednesday. Post is 5 o'clock. We got the All-Turf Pick 3. It's one of our biggest nights of racing. Make plans to be here for Dad tomorrow and Wednesday for the biggest card of the summer, Northern Stars Turf Festival. Right now, race 5 coming up. Race 5 coming at ya. Race 5 next.
Welcome back down to the winner's circle. It's time for a little trivia. This is tied into the concert series here at Canterbury. And pretty simple, I have.
Andy Winter.
Where are you from, Andy?
I live in Plymouth.
Okay, so you're familiar with the Canterbury concert series, right? You planned on coming anyway, but you might win a couple of pit passes today. What do you think?
That would be awesome.
All right, we're going to give you a question back here on the big board. 4 choices to pick from. Simple. Get it right and help them out if you feel like it. If you know the answer, go right ahead and you'll win those passes. So let's take a look at the board and see what the question is today. Which artist performed in 2016 at the Red Rocks Arena in Colorado, the same venue as the artists the Beatles, U2, and Bruce Springsteen have played at? Is it the Marshall Tucker Band, Spin Doctors, Smash Mouth, or Killer Queen? Anybody been to Red Rocks? Anybody seen these guys out there? Okay, do you have a guess? Who performed at Red Rocks? Pretty cool place.
All right, this is total guess, but we're going to go with B, Spin Doctors.
Was it the Spin Doctors? Oh, I'm sorry. It was Killer Queen. I'm so sorry, but we still got a daily double pack for you. You can get a little extra out of your day here at the track. Best of luck. Maybe we'll see you at a different stop on the concert tour.
All right, thank you.
Good luck to everybody out there in race number 5. You got about 5 minutes left to bet it if you'd like. And if you want to check out any of our stops on the concert series, check out CanterburyPark.com. You can get tickets there. You can see what times everything is at, the whole lineup, and more. That's CanterburyPark.com.
It's post time for the 5th thrill ride, 6-5. Moves in. Followed by Bugler, the last in line. And they're racing. Black Tekka like a shot right to the lead. Black Tekka leads it nearly one, but now is joined in kind by Lynchtown. And Bugler begins to fly up on the 3 wide side. Right behind them is Thrill Ride, and the quartet is sardined by 3 lengths, and 2 and 6 open up 1.5, nearly 2 on Lynchtown. Thrill Ride goes for a ride to the inside, 2 lengths behind the pace-setting Black Tekka. Black Tekka being niggled out a little bit with Bugler attached to that one, and they're in perfect harmony off the far turn. Likewise for the next 2, Thrill Ride narrowly clear from Lynchtown, and they're still just 3 lengths from the lead. Around about the quarter pole, Black Tekka holding Bugler at bay. After that is Thrill Ride, 4 lengths out of it at even money, and then it's Lynchtown 5 lengths behind Black Tekka, and Black Tekka heads into the final furlong, leading it by 2. Bugler still with an opportunity to toot the horn. Thrill Ride resolutely finishing to the inside. Black Tekka, Thrill Ride, Black Tekka, Thrill Ride, tight! Looks like Thrill Ride on the inside, but it's very tight. Photo finish. We have an answer. Result of the photo shows the winner is number 5, Thrill Ride. 5264. Still unofficial. Now entering the winner's enclosure, after winning the Them Bones purse, it is the victorious Thrill Ride and Constantino Roman. Thrill Ride is owned by Bob Lothenbach and Lothenbach Stables, and the winning trainer, Joe Byrne. Slight delay with these payoffs. Please be patient. Thank you. Race 5 is cashable. Race 6 about 20 minutes from now, courtesy of the Minnesota Lottery and Quick Trip and QuickTrip.com. Racing. Black Tekka like a shot right to the lead. Black Tekka leads it nearly one, but now is joined in kind by Lynchtown, and Bugler begins to fly up on the 3 wide side. Right behind them is Thrill Ride, and the quartet is sardined by 3 lengths, and 2 and 6 open up 1.5, nearly 2 on Lynchtown. Thrill Ride goes for a ride to the inside, 2 lengths behind the pace-setting Black Tekka. Black Tekka being nickeled out a little bit with Bugler attached to that one, and they're in perfect harmony off the far turn. Likewise for the next 2, Thrill Ride narrowly clear from Lynchtown, and they're still just 3 lengths from the lead. Around about the quarter pole, Black Tekka holding Bugler at bay. After that is Thrill Ride, 4 lengths out of it at even money, and then it's Lynchtown 5 lengths behind Black Tekka, and Black Tekka heads into the final furlong, leading it by 2. Bugler still with an opportunity to toot the horn. Thrill Ride resolutely finishing to the inside. Black Tekka, Thrill Ride, Black Tekka, Thrill Ride, tight! Looks like Thrill Ride on the inside, but it's very tight.
Well, if you play the horses anywhere across the country, those silks that just landed in the winner's circle always seem to show up. The silks of the Lothenbach stables, Joel Burnt, the conditioner. What a ride by Constantino Roman. He risked everything late in that game. He went to the inside, he waited, he stayed patient, and he got up by a nostril to get the people their money they so richly deserved. Race 6, we take out the 1. These are maidens looking for their first career victory at a distance of 6.5 furlongs. The trainer, the owner, and the jockey look for back-to-back wins. The Lothenbach Silks looking to get back on the beam. They're going to put the blinkers on, and this is a young horse that's still trying to figure things out. You see the blinkers right there with those Lothenbach red and blue colors? That's to help the horse focus and even calm down when they get into duress in the stretch, when they get surrounded by other equine athletes. So the blinkers go on, the trainer's hot, per usual, and the horse has early speed. I don't love the post. Inside is a tricky spot out of the chute, but this is absolutely, positively the horse to beat. Number 3 is a first-time starter who's taken money, and that is always important. When a horse has never raced and they take early money, that's usually a signal that the barn likes the horse. Debuting with blinkers, it's Ramblin' Gamblin' Man. Lindy Wade gets the call for Bruce Rieken. The workouts are stellar. The horse looks very professional for having never done this. And like I said, taking cash at 5-1. Another horse debuting is the 4, Artie Below Zero. Santos gets the call here for Larry Donlin. First-time Lasix, sharp workouts. That most recent workout on June 4th, 47-2, breezing from the gate. The clockers upstairs are still talking about that one. You've been warned. Artie Below Zero might come to the races with some speed. Big, strong-looking horse down here with a very healthy-looking coat. I like the physical impression I'm seeing from the 4. Number 5 is Win Over Wyatt for Nevada Litvin. Eduardo Gallardo gets the call. The trainer's red hot, and the horse had all kinds of trouble in the debut last time out. Hopped at the break, basically losing all chance. So we really don't know how good this horse is. We know the horse will get a better trip here. Win Over Wyatt is 9-1. 6 is Prestigiously Wild. The Cajun Erica Murray gets the call for the Bacchus gang. 3 starts last year and got better with each and every start. Off the layoff, that's the question mark. Now a 3-year-old on the board at 9-1. I like the 7, West Island. Harry Hernandez gets the call for Tony Rengsdorf. I saw talent here last year. I saw early speed, and I love the workout pattern coming in. I think this horse has a chance to get loose on the lead. Outside marker number 8 is Causeway Surprise with Zeke Laura for Tony Rengsdorf. Couple of starts last year, decent outside speed. You get first-time Lasix, and you get a very good-looking horse down here in the walking ring. Look at that arched neck. Look at the coat on that horse. That is a beautiful, beautiful-looking horse for Mr. Rengsdorf. And on the board, the uncoupled Rengsdorf, the higher price, at 8-1. Maiden race here. Someone's going to get their first career victory. Who do you like? Get your bets in now, and later in the season, head to CanterburyPark.com. You'd love to put your group on the track. Could be a work group, could be a family group. Bottom line is you could be the hero. Head to CanterburyPark.com, get your group on track. You'll get discounts, all kinds of fun food and games, and maybe even a Paul Allen sighting. He might stop by and say hi as well. Race 6, here it comes. Get your bets in. Now it's time for the call to the post. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment is here for some lucky fans. It's time for the Minnesota State Lottery Dash for the Cash. You can see each of these lovely fans has been assigned a horse for this race. If that horse wins, they get $50 in scratch-off tickets from the Minnesota State Lottery and a glitzy swag bag. Second and third also get a swag bag, so there's a lot to play for here. Let's meet the contestants. Your name and where you're from.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Allie Robinson from Woodbury, Minnesota.
Well, Allie, I got good news for you. You got the likely betting favorite. You got a big chance at $50 in cash. Cheer on that, too.
Woo!
Paul Allen's not going to like this next fan, and she looks lovely, but she's from Wisconsin, and she's a Packer fan. Sorry about that. What's your name? What's your name?
I'm Marissa, and I am from Racine, Wisconsin. Sorry.
Now, if this horse doesn't win, will you go into a dark room and sit there for like 3 days like Aaron Rodgers?
Definitely.
That's my girl. She's Packer, green and gold all the way. Let's lighten things up a little bit. Your name, where you're from?
I'm Alex. I'm from Owatonna, Minnesota. And number 4, let's ride.
All right, the Owatonna guy loves the 4. Who's next? Where are you from?
My name's Connor, and I am from Apple Valley.
Go Eagles. Angela Herman, an old Apple Valley girl herself. You think the 5's got a shot? You're the longest shot on the board.
We'll take it.
Next, your name.
I'm Brady from Owatonna.
Another Owatonna guy. You like the 6?
Big Sixer, let's go.
I'm a Wild fan. It says prestigiously Wild's the name, so let's go Wild together. Your name.
Logan.
Where are you from?
Waterville, Minnesota.
And you've got my pick in the race. I think this horse has the lead all the way, and we're going to cash together. You believe me? Let's go.
Yes.
Finally, save the best for last. Your name.
That's what I said. Amanda Robinson from Woodbury. 8 is great.
8 is great for Amanda. Cheer them on. They're looking to win big money from the lottery. You get your bets in. The horses will be at the gate in just 4 minutes. You can win right along with your favorite fans, even the girl from Wisconsin.
It is now post time for race 6. Causeway Surprise, last in. Here they come. And they're racing in the 6. That's CBY. And the 7, West Island in race 6. Pops out beautifully, tries to put 2 on the field. After that, win over Wyatt. That's the 5, striding out. Rider has the green helmet cover. After that, Total Surprise, a length and a half from the lead. Then we come back about 2 to Artie Below Zero. This first-time starter was last out of the gate, but now revs up to the inside to be 3 in arrears. 2.5, 3 after that, Prestigiously Wild. Then we come to Ramblin' Gamblin' Man, and the one in last is Causeway Surprise, and the one in first is West Island, and West Island strides away nearly 3. Artie Below Zero is struggling to put a chill over the field. After that, win over Wyatt, wide between runners, Total Surprise, and the 7 West Island leads it by an ever-widening 5 as they head for home, and the one with West in the name is heading south down the Canterbury Park dirt track with an ever-commanding lead. Total Surprise is next, then we come to Artie Below Zero, but West Island is gone. West Island and Harry by about 8, Total Surprise, and Win Over Wyatt ran 3rd. And race number 6 is official, as West Island receives a well-deserved bath for his toil. He paid $5.20. The 7th is our final live race. It's on a firm turf course, scratch numbers 1 and 7. After the final live race, you're welcome to stop by the casino at Canterbury Park, play some blackjack or Texas Hold'em. Fully air-conditioned, and that'll be available for you after the 7th and final live race. Into the winner's enclosure soon will be the winner of race number 6, triggering an exacta that paid $4.10. Superfecta paid $7.89, double $5. The 50-cent trifecta, $7.25, $9.75. We thank Dick Sanitation, Gallagher, Greystone Construction, and JTR Roofing for sponsorship. And now into the charm circle, West Island, and he's Harry Hernandez. 2 wins for Suzanne Stables. Congratulations. And the winning trainer is Tony Ringstor. A couple of victories for Tony tonight, too. West Island is a 3-year-old chestnut son of Barbados out of Karen's Idol. Bred in Minnesota by the winning owners, Suzanne Stables. 7th race, 20 minutes from now. And this one is courtesy of Atomic Data, the preferred IT solutions provider for Canterbury Park. Here they come, and they're racing in the 6. That's CBY, and the 7 West Island in race 6 pops out beautifully, tries to put 2 on the field. After that win over Wyatt, that's the 5 striding out. Rider has the green helmet cover. After that, Total Surprise, a length and a half from the lead. Then we come back about 2 to Artie Below Zero. This first-time starter was last out of the gate, but now revs up to the inside to be 3 in arrears. 2.5, 3 after that, Prestigiously Wild. Then we come to Ramblin' Gamblin' Man, and the one in last is Causeway Surprise, and the one in first is West Island, and West Island strides away nearly 3. Artie Below Zero is struggling to put a chill over the field. After that, win over Wyatt, wide between runners, Total Surprise, and the 7 West Island leads it by an ever-widening 5 as they head for home, and the one with West in the name is heading south down the Canterbury Park dirt track with an ever-commanding lead. Total Surprise is next, then we come to Artie Below Zero, but West Island is gone. West Island and Harry by about 8, Total Surprise, and win over Wyatt ran 3rd. And race number 6 is official.
All right, time for the lucky last as the horses parade around the paddock. Kevin Gorg with Angela Herman. We're on the turf. We have a scratch of the 1 and a scratch of the 7. And Angela and I are on the same horse. We'll get to the 2 horse momentarily who's taken some early money, but Let's talk about Super Wise. I know why I like the horse. Why do you land here?
I just didn't see any speed left after the scratches with Dylan Rocks and Cashinova out. Who's going to go up and take the initiative? I would think it would be Lindy. I mean, some of these horses.
Might be Gainer.
Well, it could be. It could be a number of them because some of them naturally get placed closer to the pace when there is none. But some of Super Wise's better races were on the turf in Louisiana when he was close to the pace. I would think that Lindy would at least try to get himself involved. I don't know if he'll take the lead outright. It's not always his style, but he's got some speed to do it. So I would think that would be the move with Super Wise. But why did you like him in Fuego?
I liked him before the scratches because I thought he could sit on the lead, he could sit off the lead. And everything Gary Shear puts on the track right now seems to be ready to run,
yep.
And especially on the turf. These horses that have knocked heads in Louisiana, specifically at the fairgrounds, have come to Canterbury, and they've crushed. And as everybody in the press box knows, I love betting those orange and yellow silks from Al and Bill Allwelling. I bet them today north of the border at Woodbine. It's 8-1 earlier. Didn't work out, but we always seem to get value with them. And I think this price will drift up. How about the early betting on the 2, though? The 2 horse was one of the favorites when the odds came up on the tote board here. Mm-hmm. Kids Inheritance. Can Troy Bethke win another race for Karen Offerman? This horse is going to get a great trip. And right. You go back and look at those turf races, this horse fits.
Yeah, and this is the other one that was staying closer to the front end and whose chances greatly got improved by the scratches of the 1 and the 7, you'd think. Murray inherits the rail with Kids Inheritance. And I wouldn't be surprised to see her go with him. I don't know if he can keep up with a couple to his outside if they gun, but there's so many ifs now with these scratches with the pace. That was kind of my question, and I didn't want to hone in on a horse that I thought would be really short on the board, but as Super Wise is not really great on the board either. So I don't see a whole bunch of value with Super Wise, but I couldn't find anybody that I thought could run him down.
A couple horses to talk about briefly here. Watch the 6. Maybe needs a race at 8 years old, but boy, the workouts have been good. The back class is there. This horse has faced better competition and is 7 for 15 on the turf. And this horse on the screen right now, Angela, I think Of Good Report with Harry Hernandez gets a great trip. If our 5 isn't good enough, this is the horse that might fall right into the lead, and boy, does that horse look good down in the paddock.
Yeah, spot fits him just beautifully, and he ran behind Bigfoot City and Tuco Bay, who would probably be the favorites in this spot. He loomed. He had a good run on the inside. He stayed pocketed up. He couldn't find a whole bunch of room, but he couldn't kick by when he found it. So Of Good Report is one of the ones that I think has a shot in here. Just didn't think that the pace favored him or Noble Pursuit in that respect, so I just put them a touch below.
We're both on the 5. It's time for the lucky last. Come back out tomorrow. We've got Father's Day extravaganzas going for you. First post 1 o'clock, and next Wednesday, the biggest night of the early part of the summer, Northern Stars Turf Festival. First post 5 o'clock. Find all the details at CanterburyPark.com. Good luck here in the last. Simulcasting all night long. Beautiful air-conditioned card club. All those fun and games for you right out here at the park.
Ladies and gentlemen, directing your attention to the winner's circle, the best bugler in the country is Sir Leonard Dykert. Lynn Dyker, ladies and gentlemen. Lynn Dyker. Here they are, walking onto the track for the 7th, heading to a turf course listed as Firm. Scratch numbers 1 and 7. And post time for the 7th race, about 5 minutes from now.
3 minutes. Two minutes. Don't get shut out. Bet more, win more. The horses are approaching the starting gate.
It's race time. Into the gate for race number 7, concluding the Saturday 7. Good luck. First 5 have gone in. Noble Pursuit and Of Good Report. Last in. Here they come. And did he go? King Nate came out stylishly, and Super Wise flashes speed with Kids Inheritance to the inside. After that, Of Good Report, Noble Pursuit about 5 lengths from the front to the outside of King Nate, and Gainer is 9 lengths behind Kids Inheritance, and at 5-1, Kids Inheritance tries to take them wire to wire. The lead is 1. In second is Super Wise, poised to pounce as they head up the Canterbury Park barn side. Noble Pursuit in pursuit indeed, 3 lengths from the front and to the inside of Good Report. Then we come back to King Nate and Gainer. They're just 7 lengths from the front, and they zing into the far turn, and they're still chasing Erica Murray and Kids Inheritance. Kids Inheritance a half. Super Wise in second by a half. Then it's Noble Pursuit a half. After that, Of Good Report shoved on hard. That's the 8 on the wide side. Behind them is King Nate and Gainer. They're just 5 lengths from front to back, and they're coming home now. Kids Inheritance still keeping that pretty white face in front. Super Wise trying to go by for Senor Spotty. Then it's Noble Pursuit to the inside, and outside of that, Of Good Report, here's King Nate with a late charge. Super Wise, Noble Pursuit, 5 and 6 to the line together. Too tight to call, but it looks like Noble Pursuit. Number 6, Noble Pursuit, first. The 7th race is official. Don't forget, following the winner circle ceremony here, before you leave, stop by the casino at Canterbury Park. Texas Hold'em, 3-card poker, Pai Gow, blackjack, fully air-conditioned food and beverage service too. It's located at level 1, south end of Canterbury Park. Into the winner's enclosure, Noble Pursuit and Carlo Lopez. The winning owner, Jeremy Ransland, and the winning trainer, Jose Silva Jr. Here they come, and there they go. King Nate came out stylishly, and Super Wise flashes speed with Kids Inheritance to the inside. After that, Of Good Report, Noble Pursuit about 5 lengths from the front to the outside of King Nate, and Gainer is 9 lengths behind Kids Inheritance, and at 5-1, Kids Inheritance tries to take them wire to wire. The lead is 1. In second is Super Wise, poised to pounce as they head up the Canterbury Park barn side. Noble Pursuit in pursuit indeed. 3 lengths from the front and to the inside of Good Report. Then we come back to King Nate and Gainer. They're just 7 lengths from the front, and they zing into the far turn, and they're still chasing Erica Murray and Kids Inheritance. Kids Inheritance a half. Super Wise in second by a half. Then it's Noble Pursuit a half. After that, Of Good Report shoved on hard. That's the 8 on the wide side. Behind them is King Nate and Gainer. They're just 5 lengths from front to back, and they're coming home now. Kids Inheritance still keeping that pretty white face in front. Super Wise trying to go by for Senor Spotty. Then it's Noble Pursuit to the inside, and outside of that, Of Good Report, here's King Nate with a late charge. Super Wise, Noble Pursuit, 5 and 6 to the line together. Too tight to call, but it looks like Noble Pursuit.